Hello. I thought I would start this vlog off this, daily reading type. Just a little bit different. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, I just washed my car this morning, but okay. I'm hungry now. I'm gonna go get some food. I'm getting some fried fish from this place called Sharks. It is so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I love it so much. And then I'm gonna eat, and then I'll talk about the books. But first off, I'm actually going to stop by the library to go get a book for our book club, and then also, I'm gonna browse a little bit, because, I'm gonna look around. So, yay, I thought, a little come along with me for a few seconds, so let's go. We're here at the library. Okay, I didn't film inside, because the library is structured weird, and so, it's like one long hallway, so if you talk, it's kind of loud. But I got a whole bunch of books. I'm so excited. Look at this. I'll do a little quick haul once I get to the thing. But yeah, I'm gonna go get the food now, cause I'm hungry. All right, let me show you the food. Give me a second. I'm hungry. First I made a little salad, cause it's gonna go great with fish. So hungry. And then here we go. What's going on here? Okay. And then I also got some desserts. Cause I'm hungry. Alright, I'm about to lock in. Hey y'all, it's Michael. First off, it's a beautiful day. And I just woke up from a nap, so y'all, that food wore me out. I was gone. So anyways, it was delicious. Let's talk about books. Okay, y'all, last week, reading, excellent, because we gonna start it off strong. Okay, so let's go. I'm excited. These are the type of moments where you're like, oh my god, I was so excited about the book. I gotta tell y'all about it. Audiobooks. Let me scoot over here. All right, the audiobook that I finished was The Devil at His Elbow, Alex Murdoch and the Fall of a Southern Dynasty by Valerie Bollerlein, narrated by Maggie Meg Reed. As I mentioned last week, this book is 5-star. It was amazing. This is about Alex Murdoch, who was a huge shot lawyer, and he basically, at the start of the book, we follow him because he is accused of murdering his wife and his son. And then the book just goes back in time, and we follow how essentially this comes to be. It is riveting, compelling, so detailed, incredible story. It is everything what a nonfiction should be, and like I said, 5 stars. I have so many thoughts about this book, but at the end of the day, go read it. I also say this, or listen to it, because the audiobook was amazing. I also say this because after a few days after listening to this, I didn't realize that there is a Hulu adaptation about this. I was like, oh my god, with Patricia Arquette, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch it. I'm going to be sad. First off, she's an incredible actress. Duh. Me and my sister first watched her when, first off, we were too young. We watched Medium, in case you didn't know, and we were like, oh my gosh, this show's really good. We were too young to be watching that show. Okay. But it was amazing. Okay, that show was amazing, and she's such a great art. I mean, she's such a great actor. She's even great in Severance. God, you're really good. Oh my gosh, she's like really good. I would highly recommend this. This was so incredible. This is point blank incredible journalism. Okay, straight to the facts, but it's never overwhelming. There are so many key players to this whole thing that it was so easy to keep track of, and that's because you can tell. This is when you can tell when someone knows what they're talking about. Like, you can tell Bollerlein knows this story. Granted, she was there. She was like in deep during this trial. I'm super excited to see what this adaptation is going to be, because if it's anything like this book, it was amazing. It's going to be amazing. I also love the storytelling aspect of this, because from the beginning to the end, it was just telling like an incredible story. This is you know, this is someone, and not to minimize anything like from the victim. One thing you can tell is that there were subtleties to what Bollerline was saying, because as a journalist, she's sticking to the facts, but there are things in here. It was like, and as I mentioned on the last video, I was like, oh yeah, I see what you're also doing. I also noticed how she would pinpoint things in the beginning of the book, at the beginning of the story, that would come way later on, because the statements that Alex Murdaugh would make, you're like, that didn't happen. I was like, wait, hold on, you just said. I was like, oh my god. And when things start to fall into pieces, I was like, wow, this is incredible. I would highly recommend it. And this is those type of books where I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, because I was so compelling. I wanted to find out what happened, but also just like structurally everything was just incredible. I have nothing but high praises. This book was detailed, amazing. Every adjective was amazing. There's a reason why this book is so rated highly on Goodreads. I was like, oh my god, this is like really good. I would highly recommend it. I'm super excited to find out how the adaptation is gonna be. I also didn't realize that this was like a podcast and there was like a documentary on Netflix. Like after I finished reading this, I found out like there was like a whole bunch of different like other mediums, and I was like, oh, this was like a thing. Yeah, this was like a thing. I didn't know that. Okay, so the next audiobook that I was gonna pick, I was like, okay, it has to be like good, because otherwise, I mean, this is like, I'm such on a high, and y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I think I have an audiobook, and I think it's just as, I was like, oh my god, this is good too. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm on a roll. I'm so excited that for me. And that was Empire of Pain, The Secret History of the Sackler Dynasty by Patrick Radden Keefe, narrated by the author. At first I was like, why does that name sound familiar? And then I clicked on his name, and come to find out, he wrote that really like good book, which I need to read after this, was Say Nothing. And I was like, oh yeah, because the book cover, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. I heard that was good too. So I feel like this might be good. And y'all, this book is really good. Okay, this is really good too. And again, another dynasty of a family. At first I was like, I don't know the Sackler name, and I was like, I don't know who those people are. But then I was like, wait, I know who Pfizer is. I know the word oxycodone. I know Valium. I know addiction. Oh, this is going to be really good. This is well, right now, in the beginning, this is about the Sackler family, who were these like philanthropists family. Like they donated like to the arts. They're very wealthy. They're doctors, and we're following. Essentially, it's to me like where I'm at right now anyways. The Sackler were three brothers, okay? We're following mainly Arthur Sackler, who was the oldest Jewish immigrants during World War II, and we're basically following down his family because it leads to this trial about the oxycodone, and it is compelling. It is very interesting. Similar to Alex Murdaugh, it has to the Alex Murdaugh novel. It has everything that's falling into place, and I'm really enjoying this. I'm also learning, which I love. So I don't know if I'm gonna finish this next week, but it's long. This was a long audiobook, but if anything, it's giving me that same like wowness of a like it's amazing. Okay, this audiobook is so good so far, and I'm like, ooh. All right, what's next after audio books? Book club. So that book club with me and my niece, it's a wash. It's done. I'm over it. I returned back the book, so maybe I'll start another book club, but or something. I don't know. For the month of September, Dom and I's book club, we're reading two novellas. The first one is The Deep by Rivers Solomon. I just started on this. I'm hoping to finish it actually this weekend, and that's because I'm in my mind, I'm framing it like 2-2, like half, since they're two novellas. And so far I'm enjoying this. What this book is not what I thought it was going to be, or shaping up. What it's shaping up to be. But so far I'm really enjoying it. I gave him this elevator pitch, and I was like, what if the overthrown slaves during slavery became mermaids? And that's essentially what this is, but it's actually more than that. Like it's not what I thought it was, but I'm really liking it so far. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I'll be really interested to hear what his thoughts because it starts off not like as like our last book for book club, so I'm interested to see that. And then you just saw earlier I went to the library so I can get this, our second book, which is Ring Shout by P. Jelly Clark. It's super short. It's a novella, obviously. And the elevator pitch I gave this for him was, what if the Ku Klux Klan members were like actual like monsters? Like they were monsters, and there were people that were hunting them down. So that was the elevator pitch. He was like, "Oh, that's really interesting." I was like, "Yeah." So I have this now. Yay! I'm gonna finish this hopefully soon. These are so short. I just have to sit down and like. It just takes me longer. So, I'm taking notes and then like thinking about the book club and all that. Okay, all right. So I just picked up some random books from the library that they had. I was like, okay, sure. Let's try some of this out. I have a big selection right here because next week starts my PTO, and I'm excited. Okay, and the new iPhone's about to drop. I'm excited because I'm getting a new phone. We'll see how that goes. But anyways, okay. So the first one that I got is Butter, Novellas, Stories, and Fragments by Gail Jones. I love Gail Jones. Corregidora, incredible, amazing. If you ever want to read that, I would highly recommend it. It's incredible, like 5 stars. Eva's Man was really good too. But yeah, these are just like little short stories and whatnot, so we'll see how it is. I just picked it. I was like, sure, why not? Okay, next I picked up from, because they have, because at my library they have a like a Black Writers collection, and this I was looking over there and I saw this, which is Rails Under My Back by Jeffrey Renard Allen. I don't know, it looked really good. Now I'm not gonna lie, there's some high praises in the back of this, so we'll see how this goes. I don't really know what this is about, to be honest, but we'll see. All right, and the next one is Olga Dies Dreaming by Xochitl Gonzalez. Okay, I looked it up to see if that's how you pronounce it, their first name. So if it's not, let me know and I'll try to pronounce it again. But yeah, this was at the, like, I think like the, because Hispanic Latinx month is coming up, so I saw this and I was like, okay, we'll see how it goes. Okay. And then I went over to the nonfiction because I was like, you know what? Since I'm listening to audiobooks on nonfiction, I also want to read them physical. So the first one that I got is this one, which is They Poison the World, Life and Death in the Age of Forever Miracles by Mariah Blake. I'm super interested about this. I think this is like about like how poison gets into like, like a lake and whatnot, and how it affects like the town that's nearby, but then also like what is the long-term effects, like what's the long-term consequences of doing things like that. So, and I think it's like, it looks like it's like only in just one town, and I saw the word journalist and I said, okay, yeah, we're going in. All right, and the next one was like, I thought it was like funny, but it sounds super interesting, which is Slither, How Nature's Most Malign Creatures Illuminate Our World by Stephen S. Hall. This is about snakes. I don't know. I was like, ooh, snakes, cool. First off, his author photograph. I said, okay, yeah, this dude likes this. He likes snakes. So yeah, I think it'd be really nice. We'll see how it goes. Oh my gosh, the bibliography. Very nice. It's thick. Okay, so yes, I'll let you know how that is. All right, and then the novel that I've been prolonged on reading, which is this one, which is The Portrait of a Lady by Henry James. I didn't get that far into it because I've been playing video games, y'all. There's this popular game called Hollow Knight Silksong that came out, and I've just been consumed by that. So I need to lock in. We're locking in, you guys. We're locking in, okay? We're locking in. Yeah, and then I just realized, I was like, wait, I read something else, but then, this is how you know I did. I just, out of my mind. The last book I'm going to talk about is the book that I finished, and I did not like it that much, so that's probably why okay, so it's On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. I wanted to read this because, I just wanted to see. Okay, I just wanted to see what this is all about. But then also, I was very intrigued by it. I didn't like this book. I gave it 2 stars on my Bookly app, and I think that was being generous. Like thinking back, I think that was being very generous, because I didn't like this book. So first off, I think this book is overwritten. I just didn't jive with the writing style at all, and it seemed to me that this should have just been a longer poem because at one point throughout the whole story, I was like, the writing is different. Like something something happened. I was like, I don't know, because the first section of these, the first section, like the first part, essentially feels very lyrical, and I was like, I don't know if I like this. But then this 2 and 3, I was like, yeah, I don't like this at all. I felt like the writing style changed, and I just wasn't grooving with it. I felt like it was just overwritten. It was just like too thought out. Like when it comes to the prose, it, even the story itself just wasn't for me. Like I wasn't just like, oh my gosh, wow. This is essentially about a. We follow our protagonist, and he's reminiscing and talking to his Vietnamese mom, and he's talking about, like, we see flashbacks of her life in Vietnam and also with the grandma, and then also his relationship with this white man at the, at a tobacco plant. And I don't know. It just felt like also I also felt like the storytelling was just all over the place. And at one point, to me, I was just like, what is the point of this? Like, for me, when it comes to like a story structure type of, like when you're like with the storytelling, I feel like there has to be a purpose and like a reason for telling me something. Like, is it supposed to tell me something about the character? Is it supposed to propel the story forward? And a lot of the parts when I was reading this, I kept questioning. I was like, what is this doing to the overall story? What is doing this thing you just told me doing to, like, even the nuances or like this character development of, or like what is going on? And in the end, I was just like, I think it really comes down to the writing style. I just was not grooving with it, and then combine that with just the story, I was just like, yeah. I think this book is overhyped. I just wasn't the biggest fan of it. Um, yeah. What I need to do is actually just read his poems. It almost felt to me like when I was reading the book that the poetry would be better because the melancholy, the sadness, like the ambiance is provoked through the writing, and I felt like poetry would just be better, would, like, in that form would be better. I saw that the poetry book is available on digitally on my library, and I found that a whole bunch of other poems are available, and I was like, oh, yeah, I might have to start doing that because poetry books don't come that often at my library, but like physical wise, and like buying them, y'all, they're expensive too. So I'm gonna see. I'll see how that goes, and then I'll see if I tackle the other their other full length novel. We'll see how that goes because after this first one, I was like, I don't know. But yes, that's how my reading was for last week and going into next week. Hopefully I'm gonna lock in. Okay, you guys, I've been spending so much time video gaming that I haven't been spending a lot of time reading. So we'll see. But it is a beautiful day. It's not too hot. It's a sensible 75. But yes, if you read any of these books, I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. There you go. It's a lot, y'all. It's a lot going into September. So yes, until then, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.